This video need not be too long, but the Vancouver Canucks went out there and made themselves a pretty decent move today. General Manager Patrik Allvin announced the Canucks have agreed to terms with defenseman Victor Mancini on a 2-year contract extension with a $1 million AAV. And as some of the replies are going out there and talking about, yeah, the Canucks are keeping the best face card in the NHL for another 2 years. How could you disagree with that? Look at that guy. What a handsome young lad. Victor Mancini, whose picture on Elite Prospects, quite frankly, needs updating, has been a pretty interesting Vancouver Canucks project ever since he was acquired from the New York Rangers last year in the JT Miller trade. Canucks fans cited his decent production with the Rangers organization and his NCAA projection as pretty good things, and heading into the Canucks season last year, there were a lot of people excited for what Mancini was able to bring. 6'3", 229, right-handed defenseman. At the time of his acquisition, he was 22 years old. Now he's 23, turning 24. And Mancini, early on in his Canucks career, showcased a really interesting element of offensive skill and a willingness to activate in the offensive zone. In the AHL's Abbotsford Cup playoff run last year, he had 8 points in 24 games, but the way Mancini would move around the offensive zone was pretty similar to Quinn Hughes. Honestly, look at some of the footage of what Mancini was doing in the AHL last year, and I'd be remiss to say that it did not look like a Quinn Hughes light in the AHL. He just had that swagger, those puck skills, and the offensive wherewithal to pull things off like that in the American Hockey League. This season, though, Mancini has split his time between the Abbey Canucks and the Vancouver Canucks. With Vancouver, he has a -10, and he's got 0 points in 18 games. That's not that bad. The Canucks suck. He's got 12 points in 33 Abbotsford Canucks games, though. Folks would go out there and say, however, that Mancini has played a lot better as of late with the Vancouver Canucks compared to earlier in the season. He's really struggled, Jordan Spink says. A bit confusing on this one. Zeev for Captain replied saying he just played his best 2 games. 16 minutes and a +1 against the Panthers, 17 minutes and even against Tampa Bay. And he was the only D-man not on the minus sheet. He needed playing time, and he has already improved. And then there's another main response to this tweet. It's like, hey, it's $1 million a year for a pending RFA. It's a 2-year extension. What do you mean it's confusing that he's ended up re-signing here? Sapster went out there and replied saying this: he's got good potential, but he is struggling in a wild defensive system. I think in a more zone system where he is able to make fewer reads and focus on defending just one area of the ice, he'll flourish. His offensive potential is untapped, and I could see him being a good puck-moving D-man for someone his size. Also, if things go sideways, the contract is able to be buried in the AHL. Good work. Now, I'm not too sure, is the contract one-way, two-way, 2-year contract extension, $1 million AAV? If I'm not mistaken, that probably does mean he'll get paid the same amount of money whether he's in the NHL or the AHL. Victor has fitted nicely with our organization, said Patrik Allvin. He was a key part of our Calder Cup winning team last year in Abbotsford, and this season he has continued to develop his skill with the help of our group. Depth on the back end is very important for our team moving forward, and we are happy to have Victor be a part of the blue line mix. So, Mancini, sticking around. Nice to see that for him. Obviously, he is a part of this new wave of Canucks D-men with Tom Willander, with Zeev Buium, with Elias Pettersson, maybe with a Keaton Verhoff or a Chase Reed, who really knows. I guess Filip Hronek should be included in that too, right? But ultimately, Mancini, acquired as a primary defenseman in the JT Miller trade, is going to be sticking around for the next few years, which I think is pretty reasonable. A lot of Canucks fans are probably on board with that. His contract currently goes on till the end of 2026, so his 2-year extension takes him till 2028. We will reevaluate and see where he is at that time. But for now, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about the Canucks extending Vittorio Mancini, the best face card in the NHL. I hope you enjoyed this video. 9. And bye.